So basically, what you have to do, right? You have to come to the order management in order to set up the ATP sourcing rule assignment set. And within the task, you have first option manage ATP that we have created yesterday. Then the second option is manage sourcing rule, and the third one is manage assignment set. So these three are important, and there is a one profile option that we have to set. Okay, so ATP that we have created. So let's search. So we have created ABB 8080 ATP rule. Okay, now we'll begin with the sourcing rule. So in order to create the sourcing rule, we have to click on plus and then we have to enter. So first rule we are creating ABB INV01. So we are giving, in order to exactly identify our sourcing rule easily, we are creating, with having the inventory of code. Okay. But in your business, you have to, you know, define the naming convention based on business confirmation and the requirement. Now, to have the, adoption of the global order promising, you have to set up as a global. Okay. So if we go with the back to back, then back to back will support the local. Back to back does not support the global order promising. So we have to create the local one as well. So first we will create with the global for both the inventory of because that is required, and then we will create the local in order to support the back to back. Okay. Now sourcing rule effective. So that will be starting date, and then we have to enter the data. So when you are creating the default, right, and based on the inventory of, the type will be transfer from. Okay. And over here you have to, so transfer from is nothing but you are shipping or fulfilling the order quantity from your respective warehouse. Okay. So that is meaning of the transfer from. Okay. Now we'll say ABB INV01. Why? Because we are creating for our first inventory. Okay. And then allocation percentage. So you have to make sure that allocation percentage must be 100% and rank always be 1. Because what we are saying to system that before, doing the back to back drop ship or O2C, in any case, so rank 1. So system will prioritize to fulfill that order demand, right? Based on this rank selection. Okay. And if system unable to drive that fulfillment quantity against the demand, then it will trigger either the dropship or based on the item attribute nature, it will go either back to back or the dropship. Okay. Based on business you are configuring. Now we have done. Now we'll say save and create another. Okay. So now we'll create for our next inventory of that is our ABB INB02. ABB INB02, and that is also global. Start date, then the type, transfer from ABB INB02, percentage is 100%, and then rank 1. So this is for my second inventory. Okay, then I will say save and create another. All right. So now yesterday, what we have done, we have created, 3 items: dropship, O2C, and you know, for the B2B. So for B2B, first we will create the sourcing rule. Okay, so how to create the sourcing rule for B2B? So let's begin. So what I will do, the general idea or principle is that whenever you create, the sourcing rule with respect of your item, right? If you are creating global, then there is a no issue. You go with the warehouse or there are other options. If you want, based on the item specific rule, then, enter the name of the sourcing rule, right? As an item. Okay, so I have entered the item number. Now I will say local. Okay, because this item is back to back item. And when I select the local, then I have to enter the organization. So ABB INV 01. Okay, that is what we have created. Now let's take example. You have question in mind, right? I have assigned this item into two inventory orgs. So how I can go? So you can put underscore ABB inventory 01 so that sourcing rule will be differ. Okay, from organization to others. So I am creating this item that will be fulfilled from the ABB. That is our back to back. Now I will say start date. Then I will come. Now, over here, if you notice, when you select the local, then what you have transfer from, make at, or buy from. Okay. So either it could be make means it will go for the manufacturing, it will trigger the work order. If it's buy from, then it will trigger the PR. And if you say that it will be transfer from, then it will be, you know, your transfer order where, it will trigger the transfer order and requested warehouse you are fulfilling that demand. Okay. So we'll say buy from. Okay. So in this case, it will generate the PR. Okay. Where we will, do the uh, fulfillment of. Okay. So basically, what we'll do in this case, yeah, we can go ahead with the buy from. And now we have to enter the supplier. So supplier we have not created, right? If we go ahead with the make at, then automatically, if you notice that it automatically defaulted the warehouse. Okay. So let me do now over here the rank. Okay. So what I will do, minimal setup is required, right? So that I will do. Okay. And will, run through this cycle as well. So rank 2, why I have given the rank 2 to the local. So first it will validate whether quantity is available. If not, then it will go for the make it, means it will create the work order in a system. Okay. So I have created save, right? Now, after that, for global, we don't need anything, right? So for O2C, we don't need anything, right? So we have created the rules. Now what we'll do, we'll go to the manage assignment set. So we have couple of managers and assignment sets. So generally the idea is that whenever you are working with the client, you create global assignment set. Okay. Because there is a one profile option where you have to assign and provide your global assignment set rule name. Okay. Now name. So name will say ABB assignment set, or what we can do first, we'll check if there are anything so that it won't impact to others. So we have, already created one assignment set. So we'll use that respective one. What we'll do, we'll say plus. Now, so first what we have created the global. So for global, we have to select the organization and we have to provide our all inventory organization code name. Then we have to select sourcing rule. And then, so first we have selected ABB inventory of 101. So we have to say 01. And then I will duplicate. And when I duplicate, what I have to go, I have to select the two ABBINV02 sourcing rule. And over here ABBINV0. So we have associated, two inventory orgs. Okay. Now after that, we'll say for the back to back, right? For back to back, we have to select the item and organization. Okay. So item. So we have created rule for which organization? Inventory 01. Item number. So item number is ABB 01. Let's search the item ABB 100. Correct. Now sourcing rule and ABB 100. So that is what we have associated. So this is for the back to back, and this is for the global, means O2C. Okay. Now we'll do save and close. So we have done with the assignment set as well. We have done with the global assignment and the local assignment. Both assignments we have done. Right. Now if you come to the profile option, right? Where if you search with the assign and percent search, okay, so or maybe you can search, otherwise we'll go to the, okay. So these are, related to managed planning, okay. So we will not touch this, okay. What we'll do, we'll go to the setup and maintenance, and within the setup and maintenance, we'll go to the manage administrator profile options, okay. So we'll search task, manage, percent admin, profile, percent. Manage administrator profile values. Okay, that is what the task name. So we'll note down the task name. So that we have to use manage administrator profile values. Okay. For this profile values, right? What we have to, so we'll search with the default assign percent. Okay. So we'll search with the assignment set. So the profile option, yes. So this is what the profile option MSP underscore default underscore assignment set. So this is very important, in order to support the global order promising. So this profile option where you have to set this profile values with your assignment set name. So this is, one. You cannot define multiple. So you have to create only global. Okay, so I will put that into spreadsheet. So this is the profile option. So let me put it like this. Okay, profile name that you have to use. Okay,
Sir, what is the role
and
of administrator profile value?
administrator profile values. So certain profile you can set with manage administrator profile values only. You cannot go with the inventory profile options or order management profile options like that. Okay, so there are other attributes, can be managed by the administrator. So generally, it cannot be that because it will impact the globally. Okay. So
Okay,
can be managed by the
we are
administrator.
okay.
Okay.
It is only the purpose of administrator.
Correct, 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 correct. Define at site and value will be your assignment. Assignment set name. Okay. So this is what you have to make sure that you have done. Okay. So we have done this. All right. So already it's there. So we don't need to touch anything. Okay. Then if you notice that, right, there are a lot of, the options available, right? A lot of profile options. So these profile options, will be applicable for when you generating, the logs, right? Traces, right? So there are a lot of, the administrator activity can be done with having the manage administrator profile values. Okay. All right. So we have done with the ATP sourcing assignment administrator profile values. Now what next, right? So we have to go. So whenever there is a change, we have already synced the data. But whenever there is a change, we have to run the refresh order promising server. Okay. So for that, we'll select. So either you are changing the item attribute, okay, you are changing the on end, your on end is getting changed. Okay. So let me put it refresh order promising. So that is what the program name. Click on OK. And then what we are doing. So we don't have the on end. We are syncing the ATP rule, sourcing rule. Okay. Item, organization. Okay. Supplier we have not created. So that we will create one supplier in order to perform our testing. So we have not done the procurement setup as well. So that we will do. Okay. So we have sync the sourcing rule with the global order promising. So we have done that also. Now, what next? We will cover. Okay, so let's go to our sheet. Okay, so we have done this. Now, the orchestration definition. So let's complete this task. We'll do the assignments, a rule, and then after that, we will complete our other setups, right? And we'll perform our testing. So we'll complete our procurement setup. Okay,
Okay, sir.
because for the dropship we need to have the minimal setup of the procurement side, so that we have to perform. All right, now we'll go to the orchestration first. So we'll move to the setup and maintenance, go to the task, click on search, then task name, manage orchestration process definition. Over here, if you search with the DOO, then it will bring all the seeded orchestration like this. Okay. So based on your business requirement, you can utilize your orchestration process. So if you notice that, right, BO order fulfillment generic process, this generic process will support both back to back, O2C, as well as dropship. Okay. Other will be utilized, you know, based on your business requirement. So if you have only bill only generation, right? Bill only invoices, right? You don't have the fulfillment, you don't have the inventory items, then you can go ahead with this, right? So there are several. So based on your business uses, you can use that. So what we'll do, rather than we'll utilize the seeded, we'll say duplicate. Once we say duplicate means we are copying this and creating our custom. Okay. So if you notice that, so it says error, process name copy. So this orchestration already exists. That's why we cannot duplicate it. So first, what we'll do, we'll validate this copy. So this is already there. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll delete this. Okay. And save this record. And again, we'll duplicate. So generic process, duplicate it. Okay. So that is what, let search space. Okay. So there are other lot of orchestration already there. Okay. So let me see BO, and we are trying to duplicate process name will already exist. Okay. This is already exist. So let me save and close, or maybe we'll come back. Okay. Let's try whether it is available. It's not there, right? Okay, copy of. So we'll check how many. Okay, so there are a lot of available. So we'll, okay. It says lever. Okay. I will try to duplicate. All right. So now we have duplicated. When you try to duplicate, right, it will, set the prefix as a copy of. Okay. So you can remove this copy of, and you have to make sure that you don't remove this custom. Okay. From the starting of your orchestration, it has to be with the custom, and we'll say, you know, so we'll put underscore ABB so that we know that this is our custom process. Okay. You have to set the process name and process display name same so that it will be easily identified. And if you notice that it says drop shipment and back to back order class. Okay. And you have to click on save. So this is so before you customize, delete anything, you have to first duplicate the seeded one and then only you go ahead with your customization. System won't allow you to do any changes with the seeded orchestration. Okay. Now over here, okay, so let's take example a business looking, a schedule process to be manual, then there is an option manual. You can enable this. So if you enable this, then system won't auto schedule your records. You have to click on the schedule, then only it will allow. Okay. So we'll say so that the you can understand the difference manual. And in order to have right the deployment of this orchestration and used, you have to go to the action. First you have to validate. Once you validate, then system will validate if there are any error in the name code anything. System will prompt the error. An error has to be resolved by you, then only system will successfully validate, and until unless it's validated you won't be able to publish it. So we have validated, then we'll do the release. Okay, so you have to validate and release that, and then you have to deploy. Release means it's ready, okay, for the deployment. Okay, and if you notice that in the action there is a generate process diagram. So this process diagram will help you to understand how your orchestration will start and fulfilling the order. So this is the path, this is the diagram flow. Okay, so first schedule, then there is a condition, then based on the condition, system will validate whether generate the request supply, create reservation, or go for the procurement, right? Then wait for the procurement, other stuffs like that. Okay, we have done. Now we have released, we have validated and released. Now we are ready for the deployment. So we'll deploy. Over here, the deployment, right? What do you have to do? You have to enter your password. Okay. Password, which password you utilize to get logged in the system, the same username password is required in order to deploy. Otherwise, you won't be able to deploy this. Okay. So we have successfully deployed this process. So now we are good with this orchestration process. So we have, created our custom orchestration. Now what we'll do after that, so what we have created our custom orchestration. So this is what we have created. Okay. Now we have created a couple of order types. So we'll do the assignment. Okay. So what we have to do, we have to process assignment. So if you notice that there are two process assignment rule and process assignment rules for sales order. So you have to click always process assignment rules for sales order. Okay. This is a easy in order to, you know, create your rule or assignment set. So you have to click on create rule. Okay. Once you click on the create rule, let it be open. All right. Now rule name. So we'll say rule name ABB, and that is based on the business. You can decide whatever the rule name. So I am putting description also you can put. Now there is a if and else and then conditions. Okay. So we have already covered as a part of the order approval. Same way, what will say the first will say the business, right? So business unit at the header level. So first system has to validate if my business unit is ABB Limited, then click on OK. All right. So system will validate. Okay. While creating the order, yes, it's ABB and order type. Okay. So order type at the header level. So what system will do? System will validate. Okay. So we have created with having ABB, all the order types. So we have the ABB B2B, ABB dropship, ABB standard order. Okay. So we'll set ABB standard order. Okay. Let's take an example. If you have more than, one order and you have same orchestration process, what you can do, you can put in is in the list. Okay. So you can enter all the order type within the same. So you don't need to, do it again and again. Again, we'll go ABB and then this time drop ship. Again, we'll go ABB and we'll say to the standard. Means system will work for all these three orders. So you don't need to put or condition, again further condition. And what will say? Will say and line type. Okay. So line type is also important, right? So line type will be buy only. Okay. Then only it will trigger. Okay. Not for the RMA, right? Then, then if or do. So do. What do? So over here, we will say process name for the order fulfillment. So what we have created with the custom percent, we will type percent ABB. So it will bring our, let me, okay, we'll take from the Excel. This is what we have created and we'll try to search. Yes. So it's coming. Click on OK. Click on OK. So we have said if it's buy and matching with these conditions, then it will, assign this process assignment. So we have saved this record. All right. Then we'll say else. Else if or do. So if we are putting another condition, then click on so business unit or business unit at header will say ABB and say okay and then end condition. Okay. So we'll close quickly at least this process assignment and then we'll have another line type. So we'll say if it's written for credit, okay, all right, and you can put or
Yes,
condition.
sir.
So I will explain both the conditions. Okay, so we'll say return for credit, and then again line type will say receive only no credit. So if these three line type is matching, then what do? So system to assign the seeded one. So seeded orchestration also you can assign. So we'll show you process name and the value will search with the return. So return order generic process. So that will work for the RMA one. Okay. So you have to use the return order generic process. So we have done the assignment. So whenever there's a return, this process will be defined. And whenever we are fulfilling, this fulfillment will be defined. Now we'll activate this. So where is our rule? ABB new rule. activate rule, save and close. And after that, we have to publish. So process will remain same, order approval rule, pre-transformation rule. So this is the way you have to. So you have to make sure you publish. Otherwise, until unless you publish, your orchestration process will not be effective at all. So we have done with the process. Okay. So let me copy it. Okay. So we have done with this task as well. So this task you have to. Okay. And if you notice that I have already, shared all the orchestration details with the description. So we have done with the orchestration part of it. Okay. Now we'll complete the configuration related to the procurement and then requisition one. And once we're done with all the setups, then we'll perform our transactions. Okay. So I will share shortly the new link